Okay, we're about to start. Let me see. And click. Normally we are live. I still have a bit. Okay, normally everything is set. Okay, good. Hello, you beautiful nerds of the world. It's me, Torach, at your service, and welcome to episode 8, to one death battle per Pokemon. This time we are putting the music first. Cormaco 113, hello. We're tackling Gen 8. We're tackling the Galar region. We're talking the fucking Brits. And for this time, I thought there was a good idea. If I wanted to make it big, because like it's Galar, it's Gen 8, so my dumbass brain decided to have a little guest. So, ladies, gentlemen, and NB pals, I don't have a term for that. Chiefs. There we go. That's gonna be chief. Give a big round of applause to Billy Bobby of Let's Discuss. Hello, Billy. Can we even hear you?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Billy Bobby, and yeah, I got invited on just because I'm a Brit. No special skills.
That was the one
special
joke.
Skills.
No.
Like, I don't think. Like, here's the thing as well. I even said this to Tarok in DMs. I've actually never played this generation of Pokemon, but all I know of it is the British theme for a lot of it.
I was hoping you actually played this generation, but
I have watched Alpha
that
Red.
kind of
I know of the Pokemon.
That kind of makes the joke like more embarrassing but funnier a little bit, you know. So we're gonna wait for a couple viewers to join in. So to do that, are you familiar with like the rules or the guidelines, as I like to call them, when it comes to selecting matchups?
Yeah, I've tuned in for quite a few of your streams. I mostly tune in when I'm like, I think when the stream's gone on for a few minutes or half an hour, because by the time I finish my shift, you're already like through your stream, so I usually have to like walk the dog, rush in quickly, but oh shit, can I make it on time? By the way, I'm allowed to swear, right?
Oh yeah. No, this is like we're not monetized by YouTube. YouTube has no grasp on me. You can say whatever shit you want. For now, I'm how do I say it?
I'm gonna say the N-word.
No. So guidelines. Number one, no returning Pokemon. So everything that is like every Pokemon that's been on Death Battle already, we're doing none of that. So you know, no Machamp, no Pikachu. That's not gonna be relevant for this generation because like there was no Pokemon on Death Battle from this generation. I think the most.
You did Gen 4 and you didn't include Lucario?
Yeah, there you go. I think the most recent was Lucario, so we should be good for now. Second rule, it's we're doing as I kind of explained to Billy before going live. It's one matchup per evolution line. So let's say you want a matchup about Rillaboom. We're gonna tackle. About the Grookey line, sorry. If you find a matchup about Grookey, but not Rillaboom, that's gonna also be a matchup for the entire line. We're not gonna bother with finding like a matchup for every single Pokemon because we're just gonna die. We're just gonna die if we do that.
I mean, later generations like Gen 8 didn't introduce too many Pokemon. It's not like Gen 5 introduced so many new Pokemon compared to the other generations. Like, even Generation 2 didn't introduce a lot of standalones. Many of them were just, like, new evolutions and stuff like that. And this game was kind of like that, including, like, region-selective Pokemon. Like, I can't remember, didn't, like, Mr. Mime gain a new evolution?
That's actually a good point that you're bringing, because we're actually gonna tackle it in like number 3 and 4. We consider we don't count new evolutions and regional forms. So basically how it works is any evolutions that were introduced in later generations, but they're from an evolution line that were introduced in a previous gen, we tackle them as like a same family from the gen they first appeared in, basically. If that's clear. For example, perfect example, there was a new a new evolution of a Gen 8 Pokemon that was introduced for Gen 9 very recently in like one of the DLCs. That is like Diplin. It's technically a Gen 9 Pokemon, but because it's an evolution of a Gen 8 Pokemon, that is Apelin, Flapple, and Appleton and shit, we consider them as like a Gen 8 family. And the same goes for regional variants. So Galarian Zigzagoon, for example, or the Galarian Mr. Mime, they are counted as like Gen 1.
Okay, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. And to be honest, I can't really think of an interesting matchup for Mr. Mime in general, or whatever his new form. I will admit, I do love his little animation, the little step kick with the cane line. I do love that. Very, very British, and a good reference to I can't remember his actual name, but
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, that's him. I actually went to Apple Tower, where that's where his statue is, and that's where he was most famous for. And I actually got to stand next to his statue. I might show you an image of it. I got on my phone of me standing near the statue.
Based. Rule number 5. We're focusing on Gen 8, so if you have a Gen 9 ideas, wait for the stream about Gen 9. And number 6, we avoid any matchups that is like, hey, let's do this Pokemon against this other Pokemon, because I kind of realized that there's a lot of easy matchups you can do when it's Pokemon against themselves. Like Pokemon starter battle royales, or like there's the birds, or there's there's Gardevoir versus Lopunny. Shit like this.
Yeah.
There's that. So, with all that being said, there's so many people who joined us. Hello, Cormac 101, there's Aiden Frederick. Sorry, I'm reading every one of you. Without further ado, let's get started. Hello, Scorpio. The Scorpio. Akira Yamaguchi, Cosmic Cat, the Raptor. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. Spider Mario. And so much people. Rule 7, have fun. Yes, it is. This entire series is just an excuse to chill out, really. It's just an excuse to hang out.
I'm gonna lie. Someone in the chat called Spider Mario. I'm just picturing him going, I'm going to throw some dirt in your eye, Bowser.
Spider Mario? Where do you see that shit?
Yeah, one of the users. I don't know why. I'm just.
Okay, Spider Mario. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. So let's get started with the starter. I see an idea that is like Inteleon versus Gex, the gecko.
To be honest, I think out of all the starters, I do like the theme of like the James Bond inspired Pokemon. I even like his like little signature move.
Yeah, Inteleon is my personal favorite starter of this gen. It's actually there's Inteleon versus Espio. I kind of like this one.
Oh, okay.
Because like stealthy reptiles could make a fun matchup. Not gonna lie. Because like I think Gex is a little too silly. He's a spy too. That's right. I forgot he was a spy too, or something like that.
There it is. Look, James Bond versus Antilleon.
Yeah,
I figured that was going to be on there.
The little James Bond, obviously, because that's
honestly, I can see why Espio, but call me a sucker. I do think I prefer Espio versus Greninja. I know, call me original. But obviously.
No, go on. Sorry, I shouldn't cut you off like this.
Oh, sorry. I don't really have anything else to say. I just think it's one of those matchups that I think it's also inedible. It's so requested for SBO that it is going to happen unless Death Battle have no interest in it really. But as far as like Pokemon versus Sonic characters go, I think that is a definite going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have a problem with the fact that it's like a reptile versus an amphibian. So it's kind of like saying, oh, frogs are like reptiles. So, I don't know.
No, I'm surprised.
I kind of prefer Inteleon versus SPO, not gonna lie.
Enough.
I kind of want to put it in. SPO from Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's go. So I've seen Donkey Kong versus Rillaboom too. Which I think it's too easy to compare Rillaboom to Donkey Kong, because like the concept is that Rillaboom, it's a gorilla who like plays the battery and it summons like plants and shit.
Big surprise to people who might watch Lads Discuss Death Battle. I'm a bit of a DC fan. My first thought was Gorilla Grog. Oh, Grodd.
I see Grodd.
But
maybe a bit too.
I'll be honest, I do want something that's more thematic to Pokemon though, because he uses drums and that stuff.
Who? Donkey Kong?
Okay. No, what's it called again? Rillaboom, isn't that the name of the grass type?
Rillaboom is the grass type, yes.
Yeah. As soon as we were talking about him now, did we go to a different Pokemon? And I'm just like, I'm just jumping ahead.
Okay.
It seems like I'm not the only one. People are also on suggesting Gorilla Grodd as well on the Death Battle wikis.
I don't know. I feel like
it's a tricky one because it's tricky when it comes to discussing like these sort of death battles, because it's like especially me and Lance did a topic about this, finding the theme and stats and stuff like that. I want it to be thematic mostly, but I don't want it to just be completely one-sided.
Yeah, I feel like Grodd is a bit of an overkill, not gonna lie. Just the fact that the guy rivals with like Superman and shit. I don't know if this is the right idea.
I was like, okay, I got confused for a moment. So I was looking underneath one of the thumbnails, and I saw Adam Taurus. I was like, who's requesting Adam versus Rillaboom?
No, I think...
But no, it's Adam versus Bane. I was like, what are you people smoking for a moment?
No, oh yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah. I see it.
Oh wait,
I mean, even...
there's an interesting one. Optimus Primal versus Rillaboom.
I don't know. Optimus Primal is compared a lot to Mega Man X. There's a lot of popular matchups about this. Maybe we're looking at this wrong. Maybe we shouldn't look at the gorilla aspect of Rillaboom. We should look at the drummer.
Wait a minute. Actually, we should look into grass. I've got the perfect matchup. Rillaboom versus Fortnite Banana.
I was going to be more thematic, but no, I was going to go with Manic from Sonic Underground, because the whole concept of the guy, he's a green Sonic who plays the battery, and basically he creates like earthquakes and shit. So it's basically a battery. It's a battery death battle, basically.
Yeah, you know what? And honestly, you could do so much of it as well, because they're like drums, can do all these crazy powerful attacks. It could be some potential for creative animation.
Yeah,
and plus,
that too.
Sonic Underground is really underrated, so I'm all for that.
There's also, I know there's a kind of a matchup that's rising in popularity. It's like Spider-Punk versus Sonic Underground Sonic. So, let's give a matchup to. I want to give a matchup to Manic. I like this one. Damn, that's two Sonic. That's two Sonic matchups for the starters. Damn. How about Cinderace?
Okay, so this is the Pokemon I was interested in giving my... I've got two matchups in mind for this guy.
I hear you.
So this one's kind of obscure, and I wouldn't be surprised if not many people know about this. Who in this chat has heard about Looney Tunes Unleashed?
Oh, I have.
It's a really underrated show. It got heavily criticized by both Warner Bros. And modern animators these days, and even in the Warner Bros. Office, they even have a sign, "Do not do this show again."
Yeah.
I personally love the show. It's a really underrated gem. And I won't lie, I kind of want to see them tackle Ace Bunny, aka the edgy Bugs Bunny.
That would be funny. Yeah.
Here's the thing, he doesn't have Toon Force like Bugs Bunny. The only thing that he has as a gimmick is that he's got a healing factor.
Yo, this fan art.
And no, actually, I'm probably mixing up two characters actually. Yeah, I remember like. I remember watching that cartoon a lot as a kid and loving it. Who knows? Maybe now if I was to watch it, maybe I would start to see why people don't like it. But
I remember watching it too. Yeah. I don't remember.
I just kind of want to see. I just kind of want to see them tackle Ace Bunny.
Could be. Yeah. Could be. Could make for a good like. I don't want to say a joke battle, but what is Ace Bunny's powers actually?
I'm trying to remember it. Like it was either healing factors or moving really fast. It was definitely one of those.
I know they have Roadrunner, so he should be the one that goes fast, right?
Yeah.
Powers ability, laser visions.
Oh yeah.
Optical enhancement.
Yeah, it was Wild
Martial
Coyote. Right, it was Coyote who had the who had the healing factor because he kept blowing up a lot. It was kind of play on like, you know, and the cartoons when he would always try and get a Roadrunner and just keep on getting hurt in such brutal fashion.
Okay, he's got laser vision, so he's basically Cyborg. Cyclops. He's basically Cyclops.
Yeah.
So. Okay. He's Cyclops and potentially has some swordsmanship, so that could make some fights. I can go with that. Are there any objections in the chat? Firebrand versus Cinderace. Isn't Firebrand like literally a demon? Or like a gargoyle thing? There's Ember from Genshin Impact. I'm just gonna look.
I'm not too familiar with Genshin Impact lore.
Me neither, like at all. I'm just gonna give it a quick look to see. So it seems to be like some kind of a bunny girl. So of course everything is in fucking French. We are. That's also why I wanted to invite you on this, because we can both share the pain of being European.
It's a hard living. You know, minus all those countries in the world that are struggling with food and Asia. No, we suffer.
Yeah, we're getting health cares and shit, like Jesus Christ. Talents.
Gay people can vote and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's not rigged to the bone, like he seems to be a
get access to nearly every streaming service. Like, we are suffering.
Fiery Rain. She seems to be like a fire archer, if that's what I'm getting. I guess it's because of the fire and Ace, and she kinda looks like a bunny. I don't. I think
it's kind of tricky with these styles because you're both trying to find it thematic, but you also kind of want them to have something similar. It's kind of like Goro versus the Champ. The reason people mostly want that is because they're both four-armed fighters, and in this case, we're trying to find bunny fighters, really.
Yeah. I mean, Goro had a little. Goro and Machamp have a slightly more going on because they're both like Pokemon and Mortal Kombat. They are both franchises that take place in as tournaments, so to speak. They take place in tournaments. They're both champs. You know, there's a little more. I'm not saying this is I'm not saying this is this is peak, but like, there's a little thing. All right, and now we're going to the very interesting part of these death battle per Pokemon. We have to look at a matchup for Greedent.
Wait, what was the Pokemon called again?
Greedent. It's the normal type, basic bitch.
Oh, yeah, the weird little squirrel thing. Apparently people say it's really good, though. It's very tanky.
It's kind of tanky. I think it's got a talent that, like, helps him keep the berries that, if it holds the berries, it can, like, eat it twice or something like that.
It's pretty good.
In the same battle, so it's kind of handy. But the problem is, it's just a fucking squirrel. What do you do with it in death battle?
Looking at the image now, it really does just look like a basic squirrel. I mean, granted, most of the time, like, the normal type Pokemon you run into are meant to look like the basic Pokemon you would capture, just to be, like, your starter team, or the HM user.
Yeah, that doesn't seem...
It's very rare you get... Like, the only Pokemon I can really think of that was a normal type, but end up going really good and become a good permanent member, was Bidoof's B-Barrel form, because I think that's an underrated Pokemon. Like, in every Pokemon Diamond playthrough I've had, even if I don't use it for a HM user, you don't even need to use it for the remakes now that HMs no longer require your Pokemon to learn the moves.
Just the fact that it's like a water type, it's very, it's kind of useful.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. It was basically Swiss Army knife for HM moves. If you did want to go the HM route, just catch 2 B-Barrels and, you know, give them the HM moves. And if you don't do it for that, it's still a useful normal type.
Your average editor, hello, I'm here. So before anything, I want to say that I don't really have any connections to this gen. Neither does Billy, so it's good. But I will be listening in case I hear something interesting. Also, hey yo, Mr. Guest Man. I don't look at the chat enough. Because I'm sure there's a shit ton of useful matchups that could I didn't even watch the...
I'm struggling more to think of a matchup for a squirrel than I was for the weird starter ones that are based on, like, popular things in the UK.
I mean, yeah, because, like, the starters, they had, like, they kind of had theme. They had a theme, like, in Greedent, it's just a squirrel. So I think, I saw a good idea, or, like, an interesting idea. It was, Corviknights versus Raven from Ruby, in the chat.
I mean, I get the Raven side of things. Maybe we should return to the squirrel another time. Right? Let's just
Because let's move on.
I don't know. I get the Raven theme of it, and honestly, the idea of seeing a sword-wielding samurai-type character fighting a samurai-type bird is kind of.
It's more of a knight. I think it's more of a knight's bird.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. So I was thinking, like, yeah, knight makes more sense because we didn't. Funny enough, people, we never had samurais in the UK during our medieval days.
What a shock!
I know it's unheard of. Most people think. I know we have a lot of weeaboos these days, but that wasn't our ancestors.
You had Vikings, strangely enough, but not samurai.
And we had an empire, which we don't look on fondly. Don't look up British history, people. We did some messed up things.
well, welcome to the British Museum. Please don't ask where we got all this.
That's exactly it. So where did they get this painting? Well, the owner handed it over willingly. Let's move on.
We have an idea that is like Greedent versus the squirrel from the Ice Age. From Ice Age.
Oh, Scrappy.
Scrappy, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
I
love
feel
that.
like
I love that
I've
you
done
could
this
start that
joke.
matchup.
I feel like I've done this joke before in this very series, so I don't know if I should give it to greet it.
Scrat W. Would Scrat actually win against a Pokemon? I don't know.
I mean, he can take a beating a little bit, but I mean, doesn't he get squashed by like icebergs or whatever at some point?
It's true, he does eventually die though, and he only just gets brought back to life because of Sid. He can die.
He kind of
I
died.
think canonically he has. I think canonically he is dead now.
No, I think the end actually. We have an end. We have a conclusion to Scrat's story where he actually gets to eat the nut, and that's when that's when the studio actually closed. That was their last animation. That's,
Yeah. Oh God, I remember that.
yeah,
Oh, that
he
was
got to
heartbreaking.
eat the nuts, and he went on his way. Let's just skip Corviknight for now because we don't like. The only thing I see is like there's this like metal bird from Bakugan. Let's just move on to Orbeetle. This fucking thing.
I actually do know this Pokemon. This is actually kind of a cool Pokemon. I mean,
Yeah.
a Bug Psychic type is actually kind of a unique double type. And I don't think I really see Bug Psychic often.
Yeah, Bug Psychic is not a. It's not a very common. I'm trying to think of because I know there's been like, I know there are like Dustox who is like bug poison but has a few like psychic moves, and he's kind of good with them, but never like straight up bug psychic basically.
It's also just how drastically his evolution changes. It's like, okay, nice little caterpillar looking thing.
Yeah, it's a little
okay,
nerd.
it turns into like a weird. It turns into like a weird shaped little bug. Suddenly turns into like this battle ready ladybug.
Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be like a nerd, and then it's like a solar panel or some shit, and then it straight up becomes like an alien ship basically. It
Cool
literally
design,
becomes a flying saucer. He is really cool. It is a really cool.
In terms of matchups for him, though,
Yeah.
I would say obvious Ladybug from Miraculous, but many people obviously want Spider-Man, and I'm not too familiar with the Miraculous lore, but I'm just trying to think of like spotty like characters. Like I also want to think of something like a psychic type creature as well. Not just creature, like something that uses like their mind in combat.
Yeah,
and is, like,
bugs
a
that
bug
use...
inspired.
The only other thing I can think of when it comes to it. I heard that.
I've got it.
Come on.
Oh, what was it called again? Alright, Orbeetle starts off as a nerd, becomes a really cool bug-like creature.
Ah?
Baxter Stockman.
Who?
So Orbeetle starts off as like a nerd-like Pokemon. Like the design's meant to look like a nerd, right?
Yeah.
Geek. Not sure if nerd is the bad word these days.
I like to say nerd is like another branch. You know, there's a branch between like nerds and when you're really into like the technical stuff, and geek is when you're into like the more fantasy, is when you're more fascinated by like stories and stuff. Like personally, I would be more of a geek than a nerd.
Fair enough. But here it is. Baxter Stockman from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
TMNT Baxter. Oh, this guy.
Starts off as like a computer whiz and all that stuff. Gets hit by mutagen and turns into a really cool bug-like creature.
That kind of, you know, that's interesting actually. That's interesting. I kind of like it. Orbeetle was a...
Not only that, he also has like So the idea is like, okay, Orbeetle's like, he uses psychic type powers. Baxter Stockman also has like robotic.
Yeah.
You know those weird little robotic chomper things you've probably seen in like video games and stuff. Yeah, those are his, and he has all sorts of them at his disposal. So it could be like psychic powers versus technology, like
Yeah, it's like there's a psychic versus like gadgets and stuff. It could be funny. Cause like my other I was about to suggest another idea, and it's not as pretty. It's the Zoanthrope from Warhammer 40k. It's a bug that controls shits with its mind, and it makes laser with its mind, and that's literally it.
that's honestly not too bad either, in my opinion. But should we ask the chat this? Like, who do they prefer, Baxter Stockman or?
I think we still have like the final word. So if you prefer I still prefer Baxter. We kind of have the final word, I think. So having a lot of a connection issue with like the stream and stuff apparently.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be good, but I'm kind of afraid that that the rest of the stream.
This whole time we've not been streaming.
No, we've been streaming. It's just that the stream is like struggling really hard to catch up with us.
Right.
And so like we're like the chat is like 10 million years later. They're like 10 million years late compared to us. So they don't really.
Okay.
Yeah, we still haven't. I'm watching the feedbacks. We still haven't covered like Baxter Stockman yet. Apparently, I'm seeing a lot of stuff. Scrat. Okay, do we put Greedent versus Scrat? I feel like
I kind of wanted to go for it for the meme.
go for it for the meme and like to fill the quotas a little bit, because like it's not every day I get to find a matchup about the big about like the base normal type of a generation. So let's give it. Next we have Feeble. I think this one's super fast. I need to remember his name though. What's the name of that?
It's kind of funny looking at the Pokemon roster list of this generation. Yeah, they really went all out to find like English like themed Pokemon.
Oh,
like
they do their homework.
Like, oh yeah,
they do their homework when it comes to designs and shit. It's really there's a YouTuber that's called like Noggin, and he GNOGGIN, and he likes he talks about like the cultural inspirations for each like Pokemon designs and like what they can represent and what they can reflect when it comes to like the generation, the region and their inspiration and the cultural, historical and cultural inspirations basically for the design of a Pokemon. It's really cool.
Okay.
It's really cool. So Feeble, I actually had a dumb idea. What's the name of that fucking fox from Dora the Explorer?
Oh, Swiper.
Swiper,
no
there you go.
swiping.
He literally, it's literally a fox that steals shit. So,
I say go for that, man.
I think we're gonna have to call a part 2. That's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Know
that pain all too well.
We know that too well. It seems to be good here. Connection seems fine. I seem to still have a bit of trouble. It's still loading shit. Okay, maybe we don't need to have a part 2. Please? Please? No, it's still the same thing. Well, shit, we're gonna have to call a part 2. I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna edit one Gen 8 one. Unfortunately, and since we already announced the guest.
Do what I do with my death battle reactions. It's just my avatar being like, I don't know, getting his butt bitten by one of the by Dreadnought.
By Dreadnought.
Yeah.
I was hesitating. Well, the thumbnails I made those like months in advance. It's cutting every 3 seconds. You know what? We're just gonna cut it here. I'm just gonna announce on